Yeah.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, please take your seats now. The meeting is called to order. Let us resume our deliberations under agenda item 5. We shall now take up agenda sub-item 5E on energy. May I invite the Director of the Energy Division, Mr. Hong Peng Liu, to briefly introduce the documents pertinent to this agenda item. Mr. Liu, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, distinguished delegates. It's my great honor to introduce the document pertinent to agenda item 5E on energy. Document ESCAP/81/14 on promoting just energy transitions to support the sustainable urban development provides an overview of the role of the energy transition in supporting the process of sustainable urban development. Given the rapid expansion of urban populations and the infrastructure across Asia and Pacific region, the choices made on energy technologies and the systems in cities will impact the speed of the energy transition and the success of climate change mitigation. In this regard, the Commission is requested to take note of the present document and provide guidance to the Secretariat on how it can support Member States in accelerating the energy transition through the sustainable urban development process. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Liu. I now open the floor for statements. I ask all speakers to adhere to the time limit of 3 minutes only. The first speaker is Bangladesh, to be followed by, not yet. Okay, just Bangladesh. The floor is yours.
Mr. Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the world is undergoing a rapid transformation in terms of energy. The country's energy sector plays a vital role in supporting economic development with ongoing effort to access and ensuring an uninterrupted energy supply to meet the demands of its rapidly growing industrial base. Bangladesh is firmly committed to achieving Sustainable Development Goal 7, which aims to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. In the meantime, we adopted Integrated Power and Energy Master Plan 2023 for sustainable power and energy supply aligned with national and international policies and treaties. Excellencies, the energy mix in Bangladesh is still dominated by natural gas and imported fossil fuel, but the government is aiming to boost renewable energy by setting up target of 40% by 2041. As per master plan, our target is to achieve 80% of total electricity generation from clean energy by 2030. Out of these, only 5.7% is expected to come from renewable energy, including solar, wind, biomass, and the rest include hydrogen, ammonia, nuclear, and carbon capture technology. Besides, Bangladesh has made stride in solar home system, over 6 million units installed, making it one of the largest program globally. Ladies and gentlemen, in Bangladesh, about 50% of energy demand is made from natural gas. To meet the current gas demand, Bangladesh is importing LNG from overseas with local production. Considering the growing demand, the daily gas and oil demand is projected to be doubled by 2030. There is significant investment potential across Bangladesh energy sector, including oil drilling, LNG infrastructure, refineries, petrochemical, and offshore exploration. Excellencies, we emphasize the importance of pursuing a oil-balanced energy transition that addresses ensuring sufficient current energy supply and mid to long-term energy security amidst the dramatically changing global energy situation. Our expectation to you all, importantly, international and regional organizations and stakeholders to come forward to collaborate and cooperate by providing technical support and investing for energy transition program so that we can build up a world of carbon neutrality and clean energy. I thank you all.
Thank you, Bangladesh, for your statement. I would like now to call on China.
谢谢主席。去年 ，ESCAP 积极推进能源转型区域对话和项目合作。12月，同其他区域经济委员会成功举办第13届国际能源论坛，重申支持成员国推动能源转型、实现可持续发展的承诺。能源专家组充分发挥专业优势，推进区域能源互联互通合作，加速落实可持续发展目标7。中方对此表示肯定。中国高度重视能源转型，积极开发应用风能、太阳能、核能等清洁能源，建成全球最大清洁能源系统。10年来，中国新增清洁能源发电量占国内用电量增量1半以上，可再生能源年度新增装机在全球占比40%以上，减少二氧化碳排放约30亿吨，是全球能耗强度降低最快的国家之一。中国不断深化能源领域国际合作，积极开展绿色“一带一路”建设，与100多个国家和地区开展绿色能源项目合作。中国为全球能源低碳转型和新能源发展贡献了80%以上的光伏设备和70%的风电设备。过去10年，推动全球风电和光伏发电项目平均度电成本分别累计下降60%和80%。截至2024年底，中国生产的风电、光伏产品已覆盖200多个国家和地区。建设一个清洁美丽的世界是各国的共同责任。我们要加快推进全球能源公正转型，把解决能源贫困问题作为优先目标，稳妥有序提高能源可及性和可持续发展能力。我们要加强技术创新，提高能源开发和利用效率，加强能源基础设施互联互通。我们要积极开展国际能源合作，推动全球能源治理体系朝着更加公正合理、均衡普惠的方向发展。中方愿同各方一道，持续深化区域能源和气候变化治理合作，推动尽早达成人人享有可持续能源的美好愿景。谢谢。
Thank you, China, for your statement. I now call on the Islamic Republic of Iran. You have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, the inevitable dependence of human infrastructure and societies on energy and the increasing demand for energy coupled with change in energy consumption patterns, especially in developing countries, have complicated the planning of energy system to improve a just energy transition to support sustainable urban development. Also, recent geopolitical developments in the world have brought new dimensions both in production and consumption. This complexity demonstrates the need for countries to work together through sharing knowledge, technical assistance, and financing by defining joint projects to overcome the challenges ahead. The Islamic Republic of Iran has faced additional constraints such as unilateral coercive measures to exercise its right to development, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and combating the adverse effects of climate change. The Islamic Republic of Iran has is working in 4 areas, including policy innovation, technological innovation, financing mechanism, and regional cooperation to take effective steps to improve a just energy transition for sustainable urban development and reduce environmental pollution by forcing on renewable energy, targeting and making energy subsidized more effective, optimizing energy consumption, and facilitating law to increase energy exchange with neighboring countries. I thank you.
Thank you for your statement, Islamic Republic of Iran. I now call on Armenia. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Armenia, due to its geographic location and the lack of industrial-scale fossil fuel resources, prioritizes ensuring energy independence and security through development and expansion of economically viable and technically available renewable energy sources. In this regard, solar energy has become one of the most important directions of the development of the energy system in Armenia in recent years. As the rapid introduction of renewables is one of the viable ways of mitigating climate change, Armenia, based on its indices under the Paris Agreement, has been maintaining major attention on the introduction of renewables into the energy system. Today, more than 5% of total electricity production comes from solar power plants, and the Strategic Energy Development Program aims to increase the share of solar energy to 15% by 2030. This will require the introduction of solar energy plants of 1,000 megawatts, which can be achieved through public-private partnerships and through incentivizing the use of solar energy by the private sector and households. To incentivize the rapid introduction of solar energy, the government has also liberalized the electricity market, allowing the private sector and individual households to install solar panels on their properties and sell the surplus of the generated energy to the national grid. Currently, Armenia is prioritizing the expansion of interconnection capacities, nuclear generation, solar energy, and electricity storage capacities. Further development of renewable energy capacity stands as Armenia's most effective measure to promote energy security. In line with the strategic priority of ensuring green transition, the government of Armenia has taken decisive steps towards the establishment of green finance infrastructure in the country with the assistance of international partners. Successful examples in this regard include the European Union's regional EU for Climate initiative, the EBRD's Green Economy Financing Facility program developed and co-financed with the Green Climate Fund. Thanks to these initiatives and those of other DFIs, a number of financial institutions in Armenia have been providing green financial products to businesses and households. Government promotion, increasing awareness, and available green financing have enabled growing presence of green product vendors. In conclusion, I would like to assure that Armenia stands ready to engage in meaningful multi-stakeholder dialogue, build bridges, and catalyze the action needed to mobilize investments into renewable and clean energy, energy efficiency, promotion of electric mobility, efficient and integrated management of energy resources. I thank you.
Thank you for your statement, Armenia. Would any other delegation like to take the floor under this agenda item? There being none, we shall now take up agenda sub-item 5F on transport. May I invite Mr. Wayman Wren, Director of the Transport Division, to briefly introduce the documents pertinent to this agenda item. Mr. Wren, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's my honor to introduce documents pertinent to agenda item 5F on transport, namely the report of the Committee on Transport on its 8th session ESCAP/CTR 8/9, which will be briefed by the chair of the committee session, and ESCAP/81/15 on enhancing resilience and sustainability of urban public transport systems in Asia-Pacific cities. The document ESCAP/81/15 emphasizes the need for resilient and sustainable urban transport in Asia-Pacific cities, given the increasing climate-related challenges and rapid urbanization that has been driving a surge in transport demand and activities, thus exacerbating traffic congestion, air pollution, accessibility gaps, and road safety, particularly for vulnerable users. The document also outlines some of the activities undertaken by the Secretariat to support the development of sustainable urban transport systems in the region. The document recommends policy measures such as integrating transport planning, improving road safety, harnessing smart mobility technologies and innovations, enhancing accessibility and social inclusion, prioritizing disaster resilience and adaptation, promoting low-carbon public transport, mobilizing green finance, and enhancing regional cooperation on developing sustainable and resilient urban transport systems in Asia-Pacific cities. The Commission may wish to take note of the issues highlighted and policy options recommended in the document. We look forward to the guidance of the Commission for our future work on transport. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Ren. May I now invite the chair of the 8th session of the Committee on Transport, His Excellency Mr. Abdul Latif Mohammed, Minister of the State for Transport and Civil Aviation of Maldives, to take the floor. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, good afternoon. It is my honor and privilege to have assumed the role of the Chair of the Committee on Transport at its 8th session from 5th to 7th November 2024 and to present its outcome to the Commission. At its 8th session, the committee reviewed the implementation of the Regional Action Program for Sustainable Transport Development in Asia and the Pacific 2022 to 2026 and urged all stakeholders to scale up cooperation and complete its implementation by the end of 2026. The committee acknowledged the progress in regional transport connectivity and requested further collaborative efforts on enhancing regional and inter-regional transport connectivity, on addressing the connectivity needs of countries in special situations. The committee took note of the key elements of the regional roadmap to support regional cooperation for the wider deployment of sustainable smart transport systems. It also took note of the progress made in the area of low carbon mobility and logistics and encouraged member states and associate members to continue to support the transition to low carbon mobility and logistics, in particular to address the vulnerabilities of small island developing states. The committee took note of the member states' efforts to implement urban transport policies that enhance road safety and reflect social inclusion, and considered the activities implemented under Regional Plan of Action for Asia and the Pacific for the second decade of action for road safety 2021 to 2030. The committee encouraged member states to promote innovation in urban transport systems and urge them to scale up efforts to promote and improve road safety. Finally, the committee requested the Secretariat to initiate a consultative process for the development of the draft of the next Regional Action Program for Sustainable Transport Development in Asia and the Pacific, which is to be considered at the 5th Ministerial Conference on Transport in 2026. On behalf of the Committee on Transport, we welcome and count on the continued support of the Commission and of the Secretariat in the efforts towards sustainable transport development in Asia and the Pacific. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I now open the floor for statements. I ask all speakers to adhere to the time limit of 3 minutes. The first speaker is Bangladesh, to be followed by Thailand. Bangladesh, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, distinguished delegates, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon to you all. In the context of rapid urbanization and economic transformation, Bangladesh has placed significant emphasis on developing resilient, sustainable and inclusive transport infrastructure, which is vital not only for economic connectivity, but also for inclusive urban development. The government of Bangladesh has undertaken substantial infrastructure transformation across road networks, highways, bridges, and urban transport systems. Excellencies, our progress is backed by robust policy supports, including the National Integrated Multimodal Transport Policy 2013, Road Transport Act 2018, Highway Act 2021, and the introduction of new rules such as the Electric Motor Vehicle Registration and Movement Rules 2023. Furthermore, road safety has become a national priority with significant investment in intelligent transport system, black spot correction, and the establishment of LX load control stations. Excellencies, the current interim government of Bangladesh has continued to prioritize transport as a key enabler of national development and urban sustainability. Recognizing the link between the efficient mobility and the urban resilience, projects are being advanced to alleviate urban congestion and enhance sustainable urban mobility. Despite commendable progress, some challenges persist. Urban rapid population growth and the need for sustainable financing continue to test our resilience. Maintenance of roads, road safety enforcement, and closing critical infrastructure gaps remain high on our agenda. Public-private partnerships and development cooperation are being scaled up to meet up these challenges effectively. Excellencies, Bangladesh believes that regional cooperation is essential for shared prosperity. We call for enhanced ESCAP support in knowledge sharing, capacity building, and financing for regional transport and urban mobility projects that promote climate resilience and digital innovation and inclusivity. In conclusion, transport in Bangladesh is not just about infrastructure. It is about transforming lives, connecting communities, and enabling sustainable urban futures. I thank you all.
Thank you for your statement, Bangladesh. I now call on Thailand to be followed by China. Thailand, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Thailand places high importance on making urban public transport systems accessible, sustainable, safe, and resilient. With Asia and the Pacific increasingly affected by natural and human-induced climate incidents, Thailand has made tireless efforts to prioritize the shift to low-carbon transport. These efforts are reflected in our long-term national transport development strategy, which embraces the key concepts of building sustainable, inclusive, and efficient transport system, while leveraging emerging technologies to support digital transformation and ensure sustainable mobility. As reaffirmed during COP26 in Glasgow, Thailand has pledged to intensify efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and raise public awareness about climate change. One of the key drivers is the National Electric Vehicle Policy Board, or the EV Board, which has adopted the 30 at 30 policy, aiming to ensure that at least 30% of Thailand's domestic automotive production consists of zero-emission vehicles by 2030. In parallel, the Mass Rapid Transit Master Plan for the Bangkok Metropolitan Region envisions a 550-kilometer transit network to enhance urban mobility and reduce dependence on private vehicles. This comprehensive system integrates commuter rails, airport links, mass rapid transit lines, and feeder services. Moreover, Thailand is actively promoting transit-oriented development, or TOD, as a key strategy to support the mass transit system. By encouraging mixed-use development around transit stations, TOD aims to create more walkable and livable communities with easy access to public transport, reducing the need for private car use and supporting economic vitality in urban areas. More importantly, as road safety remains a key issue for urban development, Thailand is committed to reducing traffic fatality to 12 per 100,000 people by 2027. In addition, the country aims to achieve 100% helmet use by 2030. One of our key approaches is enhancing vehicle safety standards by aligning national regulations with key UN standards. Furthermore, all commercial vehicles are currently required to install GPS systems to ensure full compliance with traffic laws and regulations. To conclude, Thailand remains firmly committed to advancing a sustainable, inclusive, and safe urban transport system. Through strategic planning, technological innovation, and strong policy frameworks, Thailand is paving the way toward climate change mitigation, improving quality of life, and ensuring urban sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you for your statement, Thailand. I now call on China to be followed by Azerbaijan. China, you have the floor.
谢谢主席。过去1年 ，ESCAP 成功举办第8届交通发展委员会会议，积极推进区域交通运输合作和区域交通高效、韧性、可持续发展。中方对此表示肯定和赞赏。中国政府高度重视交通运输在促进经济社会发展中的关键作用。我们积极推进基础设施建设。2024年交通固定资产投资约3.8万亿元人民币。截至2024年底，全国铁路营业里程达16.2万公里，高铁里程超4.8万公里。我们持续推进交通运输互联互通，推进亚洲公路网、泛亚铁路网、国际陆港与多式联运走廊相关工作，开展烂妹快线加跨境电商、中老铁路加中欧班列等多式联运，海运连接度连续18年位居全球第1。我们高度重视交通运输数字化发展，推动大数据、互联网、人工智能、区块链等新技术与交通行业深度融合。2024年，无人机配送快递邮件约270万件，展现出智慧物流在提升配送效率、拓展服务范围方面的巨大潜力。我们大力推进交通运输绿色低碳转型，推广新能源汽车，推动城市公共服务车辆电动化替代，倡导采用清洁动力和可持续燃料。全球首个电力驱动的智慧零碳码头在中国成为现实，应用可持续航空燃料的商业航班在中国起航，绿色已经成为中国交通运输领域的底色。我们积极推进交通运输领域国际合作，举办全球可持续交通高峰论坛， 搭建全球交通治理的合作机制和交流平台，协助小岛屿发展中国家等特殊处境国家提升交通治理能力，还通过中国 ESCAP 合作基金持续支持 ESCAP 开展区域交通能力建设项目。尊敬的主席、各位代表，中国愿在 ESCAP 框架下加强与各国合作，以交通互联互通助力区域经济快速增长，实现人享其行、物畅其流的美好愿景，携手为保障全球物流供应链稳定畅通、推动世界经济发展发挥积极作用。谢谢。
Thank you for your statement, China. I now call on Azerbaijan to be followed by India. Azerbaijan, you have the floor now.
Distinguished delegates, distinguished chair, on behalf of the Republic of Azerbaijan, I am honored to share our progress and vision in advancing a sustainable, resilient, and inclusive transport system in Asia and Pacific. Azerbaijan remains strongly committed to the objective of the Regional Action Plan for Sustainable Transport Development. We have implemented a range of strategic initiatives centered around the digitalization, decarbonization, and regional connectivity. We are proud to contribute to the regional integration through the projects like Baku-Tbilisi-Kars Railway and to the Middle Corridor, which provides efficient multimodal link between Asia and Europe. At the heart of this effort is the Baku International Sea Trade Port, a growing logistic hub designed with green technologies and equipped to handle resilient supply chain operations. Our focus on sustainable transport is evident in the rollout of electric buses, the expansion of charging infrastructure, and the creation of green logistic corridors. Equally, we are prioritizing safe and inclusive mobility. From national road safety campaigns to the procurement of ESA compliance electric buses for universal access, Azerbaijan is building a system where safety, accessibility, and environmental stewardship go hand in hand. Innovation also plays a central role in this way. Throughout our transformation of mobility projects, we aim to reduce private car dependency, build 100+ kilometers of cycling lines, ensure 90% access to public transport, and implement digital twin technology in urban planning. In closing, Azerbaijan reaffirms its readiness to strengthen partnership and share best practices in digital, green, and inclusive transport. I thank you all.
Thank you, Azerbaijan. I now call on India to be followed by the Republic of Korea. India, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The role of transport connectivity in empowering people and ensuring inclusiveness is significant in the Asia-Pacific region. Government of India is prioritizing sustainable urban transportation systems for inclusive growth and better quality of life for the city dwellers. From the development of highways, railways, and airports to the promotion of waterways and ropeways system, these efforts are geared towards enhancing all-weather connectivity to remote and far-flung areas. The National Master Plan for Multimodal Connectivity, known as PM Gati Shakti, a GIS-based tool to integrate existing and proposed infrastructure initiatives, is being implemented to ensure first and last mile connectivity. More than 1,600 data layers have been integrated as on date, resulting in efficient planning of over 8,900 kilometers of roads and 27,000 kilometers of railway lines in India. India has also launched a national logistics policy which aims to substantially reduce logistics cost by 2030. Its implementation is driven by the Comprehensive Logistics Action Plan, focusing on areas such as digital logistics systems, asset standardization, human resource development, state engagement, and EXIM logistics. The expanding road infrastructure has led to the need for intelligent transportation systems such as toll management systems and advanced traffic management systems. The National Electronic Toll Collection FASTag has made possible digital collection of tolls nationwide. Madam Chair, India has made substantial progress in developing urban metro systems With projects expanding across cities and innovations like driverless trains and under-river tunnels, the metro network is not just reshaping travel, but also contributing to sustainable urban development. India now has a metro network covering over 1,000 kilometers across 23 cities, making India home to the third largest metro network in the world. A water metro project has been launched in the city of Kochi to ensure seamless connectivity with 10 islands around the city through electric hybrid boats. Regional connectivity and development of sustainable transport and logistics system for inclusive growth remains priorities for India. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for your statement, India. I now call on the Republic of Korea. You now have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Digital transport services offer clear benefits, better efficiency, less congestion, greater convenience, and lower environmental impact. For this region, many Asia-Pacific countries are working to bring digital technology into transport. A key challenge is how to digitalize public transport in a way that is resilient and sustainable as cities in the region grow fast. The Republic of Korea is actively participating in ESCAP's efforts to address this challenge. We are also involved in various transport initiatives led by ESCAP. First, with ESCAP, ROK has been working on a project to support the adoption of smart mobility in Pacific Island countries. Second, starting this year, ROK plans to make financial contributions over the next 4 years to support ESCAP's initiatives for the transition to smart mobility in Pacific Island countries. Lastly, using the ROK PIF Cooperation Fund, the government of the Republic of Korea is also promoting a project to establish sustainable transport data systems in Pacific Island countries over the next 3 years. In addition, ROK is carrying out a project to assess the digitalization of public transport in ASEAN countries. Under this project, we are also supporting the development of digital transition strategies tailored to each country's circumstances based on Korea's experience. ROK is one of the leading countries in digitalizing public transport, having introduced various technologies such as an integrated transport cash system, real-time traffic information, and demand-responsive transport, thereby enhancing convenience and efficiency. In particular, transport discounts between buses and subways and the introduction of miles have significantly improved user accessibility. These cases can serve as valuable reference models for ASEAN and Pacific Island countries as they work to digitalize their public transport systems. The Republic of Korea will continue to actively pursue various projects to promote the spread of smart transport systems among member countries. Furthermore, we hope that these project outcomes will be widely shared, contributing to the digitalization and sustainable growth of the transport sector in the Asia-Pacific region. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your statement, Republic of Korea. I now call on Japan. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Japan recognizes that climate change countermeasures are common key challenges faced by humanity. The transportation sector in Asia accounts for much of Asia's greenhouse gas emissions, making connectivity and sustainable transportation systems key for securing sustainable economic growth in the Asia-Pacific region. Japan realizes the importance placed on economic development in this region and that simultaneously realizing both decarbonization and economic growth aims are key priorities for most countries in this region. As such, we realize that a realistic and pragmatic pathways of transition are important in this region, noting the reality that the technology path is still rapidly in evolution and the life cycle environmental impact of even the newer transport technologies are still in question. It's therefore important to be mindful that achieving net zero transportation systems through pathways that are both diverse and pragmatic are of growing importance in this region. Japan will work to resolve the common regional challenges, including decarbonizations, based on partnerships and promotion of policy coordination, leveraging public-private partnerships, including on the development of next-generation batteries and motors, as well as hydrogen and synthetic fuels, with a view to realizing mass adoption of carbon-neutral vehicles. Japan hopes to continue to contribute to decarbonization, taking into account the unique characteristics and challenges of each designated country in the Asia-Pacific region via its engagement with the formulation of standards at WP29 and other initiatives. Japan remains committed to decarbonization of transport, especially in providing support for high-quality infrastructure, including hard infrastructure, as well as service support, such as drafting action plans and administration know-how to the Asian region, and promoting transit on development and multimodal transport-enabled cities. Japan is also committed to collaborating on emerging issues such as green and digital transition to strengthen regional connectivity and resilience, contributing to its region's development by maximizing leverage of both bilateral and multilateral frameworks, including those at ESCAP. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your statement, Japan. Would any other delegation like to take the floor under this agenda item? There being none, let us now proceed to sub-item 5G, pertaining to macroeconomic policy, poverty reduction, and financing for development. May I invite the Director of the Macroeconomic Policy and Financing for Development Division, Mr. Hamza Ali Malik, to briefly introduce the documents pertinent to this agenda item. Mr. Malik, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Excellencies, distinguished delegates. It's my pleasure to introduce the document pertinent to item 5G on macroeconomic policy, poverty reduction, and financing for development. The document ESCAP/81/16, titled Macroeconomic Prospects, Challenges, and Policy Issues for the Asia-Pacific region, provides an overview of recent socioeconomic developments in the developing Asia-Pacific region. It covers issues such as economic growth, inflation, employment, poverty, inequality, and fiscal and debt positions. It also contains an examination of the near-term economic prospects for the region, along with some tailwinds and some downside risks. The document notes that the economies of Asia and the Pacific are largely stable and continues to drive the world economy. Risks emanating from global trade tensions and geopolitical conflicts are rising, though, which could subdue economic growth, push up inflation, and keep interest rates higher for longer. Please note this assessment and document was finalized before the more recent developments on the tariff front in early April, actually earlier this month. The overall steady picture also masks uneven performance across economies and challenges faced by the people. Many countries face higher youth unemployment and weaker post-pandemic job recovery, especially in lower skilled sectors. Wage levels also fail to keep pace with inflation in many economies. The document also includes a discussion on the selected challenges to the region's economic growth and development in the medium to longer term. These challenges include slower labor productivity growth and income convergence with developed economies, increasing difficulty in diversifying into higher value-added sectors, and a policy dilemma between pursuing conventional economic growth and fostering green economic transformation. The document contains suggested policy actions to address these challenges, such as prioritizing productivity enhancement and sectoral upgrading, embracing regional green value chains, and promoting inclusive regional cooperation. The Commission is invited to discuss the macroeconomic assessment and policy ideas contained in this document and provide feedback and guidance to the Secretariat for its forthcoming analytical work and for the planning and preparation of future technical assistance and capacity building work. Member states are also encouraged to share information about country-specific experiences and initiatives in relations to the issues discussed in the document. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Malik. I now open the floor for statements. I ask all speakers to adhere to the time limit of 3 minutes. May I first call on the delegation of Nepal as chair of the high-level regional consultation on financing for development in Asia and the Pacific, organized in preparation for the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development. Nepal, you have the floor.
Honorable Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates. I would like to share some remarks on outcome of the high-level consultation on financing for development in Asia and the Pacific. This consultation was organized by ESCAP in preparation for the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development to be held in Spain from 30 June to 3rd July 2025 in Spain, as pursuant to the General Assembly Resolution 28/271. The Honorable Mr. Vishnu Prasad Paudel, Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister of Nepal, chaired the consultation. The consultation provided an opportunity for over 200 participants representing 32 countries, 27 international organizations, 29 civil society organizations, and the private sector to articulate views of Asia and Pacific on critical financing for development issues. The regional consultation discussed 4 areas of financing for development: strengthening domestic public resources, accelerating the mobilization of domestic and international private finance and investment toward the SDGs, tackling public debt sustainability concerns, and addressing new and emerging issues. On the first area, strengthening domestic public resources, there was consensus on desirability of conducting tax reform to enhance tax collection, increasing the effectiveness and efficiency of fiscal expenditure, and strengthening fiscal management. For the purpose, participants highlighted the need to boost technical assistance to tax authorities and officials. On the second area, accelerating the mobilization of domestic and international private finance and investment toward the SDGs, participants highlighted the importance of policy actions such as creating and enabling business environment, strengthening financial regulations, deepening banking and capital markets, and fostering robust public-private partnership. Participants also noted the importance of innovative instruments such as green bonds and sustainability-linked loan and de-risking mechanism and blended finance solution. They also emphasized the criticality of capacity building and technical assistance for both policymakers and private sectors to mobilize investment effectively, improving policy implementations and facilitate policy alignment with the international standards. On the third area, there was consensus on the need for greater urgency from the international development community in addressing public debt sustainability, concern of developing countries. For this purpose, participants highlighted the need to strengthen the G20 common framework and improve disclosure, reporting and data collections by both borrowing countries and creditors to enhance debt transparency. Participants also noted that disciplined fiscal policy, efficient and productive spending, the robust debt management are needed to reduce debt sustainability risk and highlighted the need to capacity building and policy advice to address liquidity challenge and management unsustainable debts. On the fourth area, addressing new and emerging issues, participants called for the integration of climate and development financing to maximize development effectiveness and for the establishment of inclusive development partnerships such as country-led platforms to pool resources and expertise, enabling the alignment of financing strategies with national priorities on development climate. The participants also call for reform of the international financial architecture to enhance the voice and representation of developing countries in international financial institutions, while recognizing the mandate and role of the governing bodies of those institutions. On the final point, the participants noted that the robust data system and digital technology are enablers to effective financing for development that need to be viewed on not merely as tools for monitoring, but also as transformative resources that can unlock the solutions across sectors. In closing, I would like to share that Chair's summary of potential actions and ways forward was shared with the co-facilitators of PFD4 as representatives as prospective from Asia and Pacific. I thank you.
Thank you for your statement, Nepal. I now call on Thailand to be followed by China. Thailand, you have the floor.
Honorable chairs, distinguished participants, I would like to take this opportunity to share Thailand experience on macroeconomic policy, poverty reduction, and financing for development. On macroeconomic policy for 2025, Thailand, we project the growth of 3% for 2025, reflecting the continued recovery and strength across the multiple sectors in Thailand. The key growth driver we expect to be coming from the tourism sector, the private consumption, export, and public investment. I think to ensure the sustainable growth, the government will promote the five strategic pillars for development, promoting the tourism through visa-free entry policy, expanding the target industry under the new S-curve strategy, focusing on the electric vehicle, robotic, biotechnology, smart electronic, strategic infrastructure development via the project like Eastern Economic Corridor, new renewable energy and digital infrastructure. On the poverty reduction, the government has been implementing the state welfare card program, which is a policy tool designed to target and help the low-income individual. So the government gives the monthly subsidy to the targeted group of low-income people. Those people making less than 100,000 baht yearly will get the monthly support from the government. Also, the government promoting the 10,000 baht digital wallet program, which has been done in various phases. On the promoting the financial access and supporting the household debt, the government implement the policy U5 We Help Debt Relief Program, which target the 7.4 million borrowers through the debt restructuring and interest rate reduction. Lastly, on the financing for development, the government Thailand budget fiscal year 2025, the budget of 3.75 trillion baht align the financial resource with the development goal, namely the productive long-term investment, align the national development strategy priority with the SDG. So the budget for the fiscal year 2025 is allocated to the social opportunity promotion, equality, human potential development, public sector reform, investment in the environmentally quality of life. On the public debt, the government incur most of our public debt toward the investment borrowing in the transport, energy sector, education, and health. So these are the things that the government use the budget for financing the development. Also, the SOE, the State Enterprise Investment Project, is the crucial part of the country financing for development. So this is the overall plan for the country experience of Thailand. Thank you.
Thank you for your statement, Thailand. I now call on China to be followed by Bangladesh. China, you have the floor.
主席，近年来，亚太一直是全球经济最具活力的地区和主要增长引擎。据国际货币基金组织统计分析，2024年亚太经济增长4.6%，对全球经济增长的贡献率达60%左右。亚太的成功源于我们始终致力于维护地区和平稳定，始终坚持真正的多边主义和开放的区域主义，始终顺应经济全球化大势，坚持互利共赢和相互成就。当前地缘政治紧张局势上升，单边主义、保护主义蔓延，全球经济碎片化加剧，对亚太合作造成严峻挑战。我们需要团结合作，坚持亚太合作开放融通的大方向。我们要共同推动普惠包容的经济全球化。经济全球化不是你输我赢的零和博弈，而是互利共赢的普惠过程。我们要以普惠纾发展之困，以包容聚合作之力，推动经济全球化进入更有活力、更加包容、更可持续的新阶段。我们要共同维护和践行真正的多边主义，要坚持共商共建共享原则，不断提升全球南方的代表性和发言权，确保各国在国际经济合作中权利平等、机会平等、规则平等，营造开放包容、非歧视的国际经济合作环境。我们要共同塑造亚太经济发展新动能、新优势，要加强宏观政策协调，抓住新一轮科技革命和产业变革带来的机遇，助力各国壮大新兴产业和未来产业，加快培育和发展新质生产力，为亚太乃至世界经济开辟更广阔的发展空间。2024年，中国经济稳中有进，全年国内生产总值达134.9万亿元，增长5%，增速居全世界主要经济体前列，对全球经济增长的贡献率保持在30%左右。展望未来，我们有信心以自身发展为世界贡献更多中国力量，以高水平对外开放与全球分享更多中国机遇，不断推动世界经济走上强劲和可持续增长之路。谢谢主席。
Thank you for your statement, China. I now call on Bangladesh to be followed by the Islamic Republic of Iran. Bangladesh, you have the floor now.
Madam Chair, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, amid numerous challenges, Bangladesh economy has demonstrated notable progress, maintaining a steady and high growth rate alongside positive economic development towards achieving sustainable development goals. The post-pandemic rebound has been sluggish, with growth rate slowed down to around 4%. This is due to high domestic inflation, a tight fiscal and monetary stance by the government, and global uncertainties. In the recent initiatives taken by the government, it is expected that in the medium term, the growth actually rebound to its original trajectory. Domestic inflation has remained persistently high, reached double-digit figure because of global supply shocks and high oil price. And the government has taken several initiatives like a series of monetary and tight fiscal measures, and these initiatives are expecting to calm down the inflation in the coming months. And due to global inflation, the Bangladesh currency against US dollar depreciation has been remain high in the recent years, but recently government of Bangladesh has adopted the crawling peg exchange rate mechanism to stabilize the exchange rate, foreign exchange rate. Following the pandemic, both export and import experienced sluggish and negative growth, primarily due to global economic challenges and import tightening measures implemented by the government. And however, the trade performance recently rebacked and showed positive growth rate. the high remittance inflow actually due to competitive exchange rate, government cash incentives, these actually contributed easing the pressure of the balance of payment, and consequently the foreign exchange reserves actually build up a strong position. The government has initiatives, several measures to actually minimize the poverty rate, and the recent initiatives taken by the government has reduced the poverty rate due to post-COVID period. And for the development project implementation, government primarily actually placing the emphasis on the education, science, technology, and agriculture. Despite this effort, Bangladesh continues to face the challenges of financing development budget due to low tax GDP ratio, and the Bangladesh also maintaining the sustainable tax 5% below GDP growth rate, and also the Bangladesh has following the despite the Bangladesh has many challenges like the despite the several challenges, Bangladesh actually taken the transformation, and it would expect that in the near future, Bangladesh will come to the original trajectory, and Bangladesh we believe in leveraging regional cooperation, knowledge sharing, and invitation to innovation to overcome the common challenges faced across the countries in the regions to achieve the SDGs goal. Bangladesh stands ready to contribute the expertise and collaboration with the ESCAP and member states in the shared endeavor. Thank you all.
Thank you for your statement, Bangladesh. I now call on the Islamic Republic of Iran. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Islamic Republic of Iran appreciates the insight provided in document ESCAP/81/16, which addresses critical challenges and opportunities for sustainable economic growth, employment, and macroeconomic stability in the Asia and Pacific region. We align our remarks with the report's emphasis on fostering inclusive and resilient economies aimed global uncertainties. On economic growth, in Iran recognized the importance of enhancing labor productivity and restructuring the economy toward high-value sector, as highlighted in paragraph 41 of the report. Regarding employment, we are addressing this issue through skill-oriented education, linking academic curricula to labor market needs, and supporting knowledge-based enterprise. Reviewing active labor market policies, including wage subsidized, employer insurance, incentives, and internship program targeting youth and university graduate to foster productive employment in innovative sectors. On inflation, liquidity, and physical balances, Central Bank of Islamic Republic of Iran has reduced liquidity growth from 40% in 2020 to 24% in 2024 through controlled balance sheet policies aimed for non-inflationary financing to balance growth and stability. To address physical deficit, the Islamic Republic of Iran is optimizing expenditure, enhancing tax collection, and diversifying the economy away from oil dependency. Target, subsidized, and alternative trade partnership mitigate sanction impacts, while diplomatic efforts seek to restore international financial integration for long-term resilience. In conclusion, Iran reaffirmed its commitment to regional cooperation to facilitate technology transfer, trade, and investment. We called for a strengthened intra-regional collaboration to counter global economic fragmentation and achieve sustainable development. Iran stands ready to contribute to a prosperous and sustainable Asia and Pacific. I thank you.
Thank you for your statement. Islamic Republic of Iran. Would any other delegation like to take the floor under this agenda item? There being none, we shall now take up agenda item 5H pertaining to trade, investment, enterprise, and business innovation. May I invite the Director of Trade, Investment, and Innovation Division, Ms. Rupa Chanda, to briefly introduce the documents pertinent to this agenda item. Ms. Chanda, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's my honor to introduce the documents pertinent to item 5H on trade, investment, enterprise, and business innovation. Document ESCAP/81/17 contains the report of the Governing Council of the Asian and Pacific Center for Transfer of Technology on its 20th session and will be presented by the chair of the meeting. Document ESCAP/81/18 on reimagining private sector engagement for urban development in Asia and the Pacific provides an overview of policies and strategies for integrating private sector perspectives in order to make cities more sustainable. It discusses the application of innovative and circular economy principles to transform urban centers, where the private sector plays an important role in developing energy efficient and inclusive cities. Sustainability-focused businesses can enhance the resilience of cities through their expertise in closed-loop systems for renewable energy, transportation, logistics, waste and water management, construction, and infrastructure development. In this regard, the Commission is invited to take note of the role of the private sector in urban development and to strengthen public-private partnerships and cooperation through policy dialogue, knowledge sharing, and the bolstering of existing platforms, including the Asia-Pacific Business Forum. The Commission may wish to suggest actions by the private sector to accelerate the energy transition, technological innovation, financing of infrastructure development, and implementation of circular economy models in the Asia-Pacific region and provide guidance on the future work of the Secretariat in these regards. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Chanda. May I now invite the Vice Chair of 20th Session of the Governing Council of the Asian and Pacific Center for Transfer of Technology, Ms. Nongnuch Chunbanhit, Director of the International Cooperation Strategy Group of the Foreign Affairs Division, Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research, and Innovation of Thailand, to take the floor. Ms. Nongnuch Chunbanhit, you have the floor.
Yes. Madam Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present the outcome of the 20th session of the Governing Councils of the Asian and Pacific Center for Transfer of Technology, APCTT. Technology is a powerful tool for tackling global challenges, especially climate change. APCTT plays an essential tool to support member countries to adopt innovative technologies through training, policy advice, partnerships, and knowledge sharing. The 20th sessions of Governing Council was hosted by the Islamic Republic of Iran on the 27th and 28th of November 2024, with representatives from 10 member countries and 4 observers. The Council acknowledged APCTT's strong performance, and I would like to share a few highlights. Between December 2023 and November 2024, APCTT delivers 21 targeted activities aligned with its 5-year strategic plans and also the regional needs. Topics included climate-smart infrastructure, municipal solid waste management, air pollution control, green hydrogen, energy storage, digital platforms, and fourth industrial revolution technologies. A key highlight was engaging young innovators from across member countries, reaching nearly 1,000 participants from 18 countries. APCTT also piloted a community of practice on climate technologies and supported young policymakers through the ESCAP Visiting Fellow Program. To support knowledge exchange, APCTT published the Asia Pacific Tech Monitor, focuses on digital innovations for climate resilience, air pollution control, and green hydrogen. The Council also welcomed the dissemination of technical reports and city-level assessments, particularly on air pollution control. Looking ahead, the Council encouraged APCTT to continue providing policy and advice, capacity building, and support for technology-driven development. The 2025 Work Program was adopted, and member states were invited to support the Center through voluntary annual contributions, joint projects, and seconded expert and fellow to APCTT. The Council reaffirms its strong commitment to support the Center's growth in meeting member state capacity building needs. Together, we can harness innovation and technology for more resilient and sustainable futures. With your continued support, the Center can deliver meaningful and lasting impacts across the region. Thank you.
Thank you. I now open the floor for statements. I ask all speakers to adhere to the time limit of 3 minutes. The first speaker is India, to be followed by Bangladesh. India, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, Excellencies and distinguished guests, delegates, India appreciates the efforts and contribution of ESCAP in connecting with different countries on the issue of trade, investment, enterprises, and business innovation. India is one amongst the fastest growing economy in the world and is poised to become the fourth largest economy by the end of 2025 and third largest by 2027. And there is a range of opportunities that India offers. In the next 2 to 2.5 decades, India will grow significantly, supported by the aspirations of 1.4 billion Indians. This creates a massive domestic demand and offers the benefit of scale that are being recognized globally. In the last 2 years alone, at least 8 high-level delegations have visited India, signaling the world's growing interest in forging a stronger trade relationship with India. Global trade has many challenges, and in order to obviate these challenges, India has recently operationalized a dedicated global tariff and trade help desk to assist all stakeholders in navigating emerging trade issues. This help desk would look into issues relating to important import and export challenges, EXIM clearance, logistics or supply chain challenges, financial or banking issues, regulatory or compliance issues, and other issues, or suggestions and facilitate stakeholders. Madam Chair, further to promote FDI, India has put in place an investor-friendly policy wherein most sectors, except certain strategically important sectors, are open for 100% FDI under the automatic route. India has embarked on a series of reforms aimed at liberalizing its FDI policies with the goal of stimulating economic growth and encouraging foreign capital inflows. Madam Chair, India has a vast pool of STEM graduates, with 43% being women. Indian innovators are rising to the occasion, delivering R&D driven solutions. India's position as the world's third largest startup ecosystem is attributed to talent pool, dynamic entrepreneurial spirit, and technological advancement, especially among the youth. The vision of Digital India program through adoption of Bhim UPI, Aadhaar, and CoWIN transformed India into a digitally empowered society, which is an essential prelude to fourth industrial revolution. The Government of India acknowledges the importance of regional cooperation for ethical use of emerging technology for realizing the objectives of SDGs. Madam Chair, ESCAP may play a role in development of emerging technologies, usages, and its partnership. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for your statement, India. I now call on Bangladesh to be followed by China. Bangladesh, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, the government of Bangladesh is committed to create the enabling environment with supportive, trade facilitative, and environment-friendly policies to improve the overall business environment in light of the evolving demands of digitalization of international trade regime. Moreover, the government is undertaking various reform measures, including giving emphasis on investment, ease of doing business, strengthening relationship with the private sector, introducing digital systems in all fields. In this connection, we have set up one-stop service through a single window that provides 111 services of 37 organizations. Only 1% import duty on capital machinery, bonded warehouse facility, unrestricted exist, and so on. Bangladesh has initiated necessary arrangement for formulation a national logistic policy for making export-import business smooth, cost-effective, and time-efficient. Madam Chair, I would like to mention that Bangladesh economy has been recognized as an export-led economy because of the government's timely and appropriate formulation of export and investment policies. With a view to diversifying export, a special attention has been attached to the government and to the growth and development of some priority sectors like leather industry, light engineering, pharmaceutical industry, furniture industry, shipbuilding industry, jute goods, electric appliance, footwear, kitchenware, processed foods, and ICT sector. Besides, the domestic production of manufactured consumer goods protected by high tariffs and para-tariffs will be rationalized to promote their competitiveness and address anti-export biasness. Bangladesh signed the framework agreement of facilitation of cross-border paperless trade in Asia and the Pacific by ESCAP as one of the first 3 countries on 29th August 2017 and subsequently ratified after completion of the initial process on 13th October 2020. Currently, Bangladesh is assessing its position and preparing roadmap for implementation of the agreement. The successful implementation of the agreement will facilitate cross-border trade and will reduce trade transaction time and costs. We have also established a central digital commerce cell in the Ministry of Commerce to facilitate digital trade in a fair manner. We have formulated a National Digital Commerce Policy 2018, Digital Commerce Guideline 2021, and Digital Business Identification Registration Guideline 2022. We have also taken initiative to establish a Digital Commerce Authority with enacting a new law, Digital Commerce Authority Act. Cross-border digital commerce policy is also in the formulation process. We believe that these initiatives will ensure safe and secure business transactions. Madam Chair, strategic location and expanding market coupled with ample young workforce embellished Bangladesh as a potential hub of investment. Robust economic growth and strategic location combining a young and dynamic workforce offers a stable macroeconomic environment for global entrepreneurs. Recently, on 7 to 10 April, the Bangladesh Investment Summit 2025 were held that presents an opportunity to reverse the downward trajectory of FDI inflows by presenting new investment opportunities and showcasing economic reforms and policy incentives. More than 710 investors from 50 countries attended the summit. The participants is a demonstration of trust to invest in Bangladesh. Madam Chair, I would like to mention some prosperous export sectors of my country. Our garment sector is already in the proven track. Another sector is the pharmaceutical sector. Even after the loss of TRIPS waiver after graduation, Bangladesh can retain the huge market of patented drugs in which Bangladesh gained robust production capacity. The pharmaceutical industry, a winner of the global market through a dynamism and technology, experienced tremendous growth in the last decade and currently contributes 1.83% to the country's GDP. The pharmaceutical market of Bangladesh is expected to surpass $6 billion by 2025 with an absolute growth of 114%.
Another sector I would like to mention is growing demand for information technology, enabled services and industry automation. Bangladesh IT firms have expanded their global footprint, facing the country 1.4 billion annually by exporting software and other services. Bangladesh has made remarkable strides in sustainable environmental stewards showcases as 54 of the world's top 100 LED green factories are now located in Bangladesh, including 9 of the top, shows our pivotal role in pipelining the country towards global leadership in eco-friendly garment sector. This achievement is poised to attract further investment and partnerships, solidifying Bangladesh's position as a global leader in sustainable manufacturing. As a beneficiary of multilateral trading system and cooperation with other countries, Bangladesh is undertaking appropriate policy actions to encounter the challenges after graduation from LDC category. In addition, we have taken initiative to transform traditional. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your statement, Bangladesh. I now call on China to be followed by Thailand. China, you have the floor.
谢谢主席女士。主席女士，各位代表，贸易和投资是亚太地区经济增长的重要推动力。得益于贸易投资自由化、便利化水平的显著提升，亚太地区成为全球最活跃、最具增长潜力的经济板块。统计数据显示，1993年至2023年，亚太地区平均关税水平从17%下降至5%，对世界经济增长的贡献达到70%，人均收入翻2番以上，为人类进步和全球可持续发展作出重要贡献。然而，这一发展势头正遭遇单边主义、保护主义逆流。近期，美国打着对等旗号，对贸易伙伴滥施关税，严重侵犯各方正当权益，严重违反世贸组织规则，严重损害以规则为基础的多边贸易体制，严重冲击全球经济秩序稳定和世界经济复苏进程。其本质是将美国优先凌驾于国际规则之上，以牺牲全世界的正当利益，服务于美国的霸权利益。中方对这种单边霸凌行径给予强烈谴责，表示坚决反对。世贸组织数据显示，美方滥施关税将进一步拉大各国贫富差距，欠发达国家将遭受更大冲击。中方对美国霸凌行径采取反制措施，既是为了维护自身的正当权益，也是为了维护国际公平正义，维护世界各国，特别是发展中国家的共同利益。各国应当秉持共商、共建、共享的原则，坚持真正的多边主义，共同反对各种形式的单边主义、保护主义，维护以联合国为核心的国际体系，维护以世界贸易组织为核心的多边贸易体制。中国将继续推进高水平对外开放，稳步扩大规则、规制、管理、标准等制度性开放，实施高水平的贸易和投资自由化便利化政策，打造市场化、法治化、国际化的一流营商环境。中方有信心推动中国经济在高质量发展新阶段稳健前行，为世界经济贸易增长注入持久动力。谢谢主席女士。
Thank you for your statement, China. I now call on Thailand to be followed by the United States of America. Thailand, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates. Thailand remains steadfast in the commitment to building sustainable, resilient, and inclusive infrastructure to drive research excellence and advance industrial technologies. As our Prime Minister highlighted during the opening of the session, one of Thailand's strategic priorities is fulfilling its aspiration to become a regional development partner and an engine for sustainable growth across Asia and the Pacific, is to foster advanced and sustainable industries through green transition. Achieving this vision requires a profound transformation of the economy towards an innovation-driven, value-based industrialized nation with sustainability at its core. Central to this effort is a range of strategic initiatives. Foremost among them is the establishment of the Eastern Economic Corridor, or EEC. Launched in 2018, it represents a cornerstone of area-based development encompassing 3 provinces. A key feature of this plan is the establishment of the Eastern Economic Corridor of Innovation, or EECI. EECI serves as a national innovation hub, bridging research and investment, and offering integrated infrastructure and a robust innovation ecosystem to support the transition of research outputs from laboratory discoveries to commercial applications. It also functions as a vital gateway for adapting advanced foreign technologies to local context before wider investment. Sustainable urban development initiatives within EECI ensures high quality of life for residents. EECI exemplifies Thailand's effort to decentralize research and innovation capabilities, complementing the broader network of regional science parks. This decentralization aims to bridge regional disparities, enhance equitable access to quality infrastructure, and empower provincial economies. Beyond national borders, technology transfers holds tremendous promise for catalyzing economic growth, sparking innovation, and elevating the quality of life. The Asian and Pacific Center for Transfer of Technology, or APCTT, has been instrumental in this mission. The Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation of Thailand sincerely thanks APCTT for its unwavering commitment to fostering collaboration, building capacity, and advancing sustainable development goals. Together, we strive for a greener, more innovative, and inclusive Asia-Pacific. Thank you.
Thank you for your statement, Thailand. I now call on the United States of America. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would, again, as we did on Monday, remind delegates that the theme for this year's Commission session is on regional cooperation for resilient and sustainable urban development, and not a forum on international trade. And while this agenda item is an opportunity to discuss elements of international trade under ESCAP's mandate, we strongly reject China's use of its statement to grossly mischaracterize U.S. trade policy and bolster its own regional standing. Excuse me. China's claims are performative, and the premise it advances is devoid of substance or credibility.
We will ask him to finish his statement first.
This is not the time for a right of reply. It's not expressing it's not really a.
He's delivering his statement.
But he is delivering his statement, so let's allow him to finish first.
I would urge the world and UNESCAP member states to look at China's actions rather than its empty claims when judging its contributions to the international system. For far too long, China has deployed unilateral unfair trade practices that hurt not only the United States, but market economies and workers around the world and within the region. China continues to use state subsidies and other non-market practices to build overcapacity and flood the world with exports, displacing local economies. Beijing has also taken a variety of non-tariff actions aimed at hurting farmers and manufacturers all over the world via dual-use export prohibitions, applied sanctions, and antitrust and anti-dumping investigations. Beijing continues to manipulate international financial institutions' resources, borrowing only to relend, to burnish its reputation, and to line its pockets with lucrative development contracts. China claims to be a developing country, while it simultaneously weaponizes its donor status and development projects to bully developing member states. No more. President Trump is resetting the trade environment so that China can no longer take advantage. We will continue to champion a fair economic playing field, support innovation over intellectual property theft, and free enterprise over authoritarianism. President Trump has been clear: if trading partners align with our effort to achieve fairness and balance in our trading relationships and protect U.S. economic and national security, we will welcome this cooperation. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, United States of America. So may I check now with China if you are requesting to exercise the right of reply? May I remind the delegations that the Commission agreed that statements in the exercise of the right of reply will be delivered at the end of the meeting, at which the right is requested or at the end of the day, whenever two meetings have been scheduled for that day to consider the same item. I will accordingly invite delegations to exercise the right of reply at that time. Okay. Would any other delegation like to take the floor under this agenda item? If none, we shall now take up agenda item 5.1. Oh, sorry, 5I, pertaining to information and communications technology, science, technology, and innovation. May I invite the Director of the Information and Communications Technology and Disaster Risk Reduction Division, Ms. Tiziana Bonapace, to briefly introduce the documents pertinent to this agenda item.
So at the end of the day, we'll
Ms. Bonapace, you have the floor. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. The documents pertinent to this agenda item are the report of the Ministerial Conference on Digital Inclusion and Transformation, ESCAP/MCDIT/5, and the Astana Ministerial Declaration on Digital Inclusion and Transformation in Asia and the Pacific on its session, ESCAP/MCDIT/5/Ad1, which will be introduced by the chair of the conference. The second one is the report of the Governing Council of the Asian and Pacific Training Center for Information and Communications Technology for Development on its 19th session, ESCAP/81/19, which will also be introduced by the chair of the Governing Council. And thirdly, strengthening cooperation on emerging digital technologies through the Asia-Pacific Information Superhighway Initiative and the Astana Ministerial Declaration on Digital Inclusion and Transformation in Asia and the Pacific, ESCAP/81/20, and it is my honor to introduce this document. So in ESCAP/81/20, the analysis presented shows that several Asia-Pacific countries have made significant progress in leveraging digital solutions to advance sustainable development. In particular, the document highlights how digital technologies are used in a range of sectors, such as agriculture, infrastructure, financial services, government services, and disaster risk reduction for promoting sustainable development. The document further examines ongoing international collaborative initiatives. These include the Pact for the Future, the World Summit on the Information Society, and the Asia-Pacific Information Superhighway Initiative. It highlights their role in fostering partnerships for capacity building, knowledge sharing, and coordinated policy making to address common challenges. Additionally, it underscores the importance of regional digital partnerships at the highest policy decision-making level, such as the convening of the Asia-Pacific Ministerial Conference on Digital Inclusion and Transformation in Kazakhstan in September 2024. The document also reports on the progress in implementation of the Astana Ministerial Declaration on Digital Inclusion and Transformation. And so the Commission is invited to take note of the document and to provide guidance to the Secretariat on further implementation of the Astana Ministerial Declaration. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Bonapace. May I now ask the conference room officer to play the video message from the chair of the Asia-Pacific Ministerial Conference on Digital Inclusion and Transformation, His Excellency Mr. Jazlan Madiev, Minister of Digital Development, Innovations, and Aerospace Industry of Kazakhstan.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I am honored as the chair of the Asia-Pacific Ministerial Conference on Digital Inclusion and Transformation to report on the key outcomes of our conference held in Astana from 3rd to 5th September 2024. I extend my sincere gratitude to all participants and partners for their commitment and collaboration. Asia-Pacific cities are undergoing profound demographic shifts. Our region is home to over 2.2 billion urban residents, and more than half of the world's 30 largest cities are located here. By 2050, the urban population is projected to grow by 1.2 billion people, representing a 50% increase. In this context, countries across Asia and the Pacific are facing mounting challenges in building resilient and sustainable urban development. From climate-induced migration and informal settlements to infrastructure deficits and inequality. Urban vulnerabilities are growing rapidly. Recognizing these common challenges and the opportunity for joint solutions, Kazakhstan convened the Asia-Pacific Ministerial Conference on Digital Inclusion and Transformation in Astana in September 2024. The conference gathered over 1,000 participants, including representatives from more than 30 countries, reflecting our shared commitment to advancing digital cooperation. This impressive engagement culminated in the adoption of the Astana Ministerial Declaration on Digital Inclusion and Transformation in Asia and the Pacific. The declaration underscored critical imperatives, bridging the digital divide, strengthening digital connectivity, enhancing digital trust, and promoting inclusive, sustainable digital economies and societies that leave no one behind. A key element of the declaration is the proposal to establish the Digital Solutions Center for Sustainable Development. It is an institution designed to strengthen regional collaboration and digital resilience. Kazakhstan is grateful for the continued collaboration of member states in advancing this proposal. We welcome the establishment of an ad hoc working group on the Digital Solutions Center, and we extend our thanks to independent consultants for their invaluable contribution to the independent feasibility study. The center will serve to support the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals by facilitating the transfer of effective digital solutions, and enhancing regional coordination. In view of these challenges and opportunities, we invite all countries to co-sponsor the draft resolution that Kazakhstan intends to submit at the 82nd session of the Commission. Together, let us forge a path towards resilient, inclusive urban development and continue to build momentum towards a digital, sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you. May I now ask the conference room officer to play the video message from the chair of the 19th session of the Governing Council of the Asian and Pacific Training Center for Information and Communication Technology for Development, Ms. Nguyen Sumali, Director General of the Institute of Digital Governance of the Cambodia Academy of Digital Technology.
Greeting from Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Excellency, delegate, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Governing Council of the Asian and Pacific Training Center for ICT for Development, I am honored to brief you the outcome of the deliberations during its 19th sessions convened on 4 September 2024 in Astana, Kazakhstan. APC ICT has made significant progress in its advancing its missions to strengthen digital capacity across the Asian-Pacific regions. Over the past year, the Center Academy of ICT Essential for Government Leaders continued to expand its reach with 17 activities in 7 countries in the areas such as digital government, cybersecurity, ICT for climate change, risk management, and frontier technology. To date, the Academy has been rolled out in 39 countries in the region. The launch of Wi-Fi DH programs also marked transformative steps in promoting digital skill development of women entrepreneurs. To meet growing demand for flexible learning, APC ICT expanded virtual academy with over 1,500 new enrollment this year, and redesigned its website, enhancing accessibility and impact across the region. Look ahead. The Governing Council has endorsed APC ICT Work Plan for 2025, which set for strategic priorities such as expanding training on emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and data governance to better equip policymakers for the digital age, strengthening digital skill development for women entrepreneurs and underserved community to foster inclusive growth and development, and working closely with a member state and national partner to customize and align APC ICT program with national digital transformation strategy and ensuring real practical impact and support. The Council appreciates the generous contribution from the Republic of Korea, India, Macau, and Canada, as well as in-kind support from national partners. This contribution has been critical for sustaining and scaling the center work. The Council called all ESCAP members and associate members to support the center and collaborate in ensuring that digital transformation serve as a driver for sustainable development, inclusion, and resilience in our regions. Thank you.
I now open the floor for statements. I ask all speakers to please adhere to the time limit of 3 minutes. I call on Vietnam to be followed by Bangladesh. Vietnam, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Distinguished delegates, the rapid advancement of technology and digital innovation, including artificial intelligence and Internet of Things, is profoundly transforming our world and the Asia-Pacific region. It is reshaping how people work, learn, access healthcare, and engage with society. It also revolutionizing how businesses operate and how governments deliver public services. Asia and the Pacific have emerged as dynamic hubs for digital innovation. The region's demographic characteristic and socio-economic dynamism provide a unique foundation for the adoption and scaling up of new technologies. Over the past year, the region has made significant progress towards achievement of SDG 9 on industry, innovation, and infrastructures, and is well positioned to lead the forthcoming wave of technological advancements. In this context, Vietnam places the highest priority on the development of science, technology, and digital transformation. A range of strategies, policies, and action plans have been adopted to promote the development of technology, innovation, and digitalization. We view these efforts as instrumental in driving sustainable development, overcoming the middle income trap, and advancing toward a new phase of development for the country. At the same time, we acknowledge that the accelerating pace of technological change also introduces new risks and challenges, particularly if emerging technologies are not governed in a responsible and accountable manner. In this regard, we support the UN ongoing effort to strengthen global governance of technology in line with the UN Charter and international law. Allow me to suggest the following. First, we encourage ESCAP to actively contribute to the localization of the Global Digital Compact and to enhance coordination and with other relevant global and regional initiatives on emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence. Through inclusive partnership and multilateral cooperation, we can work toward fostering a safe, secure, and trustworthy digital environment. Second, ensuring equitable and affordable access to digital technologies is imperative. The promotion of technology transfer from developed to developing countries, as well as the strengthening of knowledge sharing and capacity building, will be key to unlocking the full potential of digital transformation across the regions. Third, we underscore the importance of innovative financing for technological development and digital transformation, where the private sector and the financial institutions should play a critical role. Thank you.
Thank you for your statement, Vietnam. I call now on Bangladesh to be followed by India. Bangladesh, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to share our perspectives on the role of information and communication technology, science, technology, and innovation in shaping a more resilient and sustainable urban future in our region. Bangladesh recognizes that digital transformation, innovation, and scientific advancement are powerful enablers of sustainable development. In recent years, the country has undertaken substantial reforms and investments to strengthen digital infrastructure, build national innovation capacity, and foster a culture of research and technological advancement. These efforts are anchored in our broader ambition to build an inclusive, knowledge-based, and innovation-driven society. In the field of science and technology, Bangladesh has made significant strides in strengthening digital infrastructure and promoting inclusive access to technology. Over 2,600 unions are now connected with high-speed broadband, with nationwide efforts underway to reach remaining underserved areas. Thousands of digital labs in educational institutions are equipping students with critical 21st century skills. Our commitment to the SDGs is reflected in our investment in innovation ecosystems through the establishment of a National Innovation Academy, fabrication labs, and university research centers. We are nurturing startups and entrepreneurship. The upcoming Ropur nuclear power plant is expected to generate 2,400 megawatt of clean energy, contributing significantly to SDG 7 on affordable and clean energy and SDG 13 on climate action. Distinguished delegates, we firmly believe that global and regional collaboration is essential to fully realize the potential of science, technology, and innovation and to close the development gap. In this regard, we call on ESCAP to enhance support for regional STI platforms, digital governance, cybersecurity, and South-South cooperation so that the benefits of innovation and transformation are shared equitably. Bangladesh reaffirms its commitment to work with ESCAP and member states to shape an inclusive, sustainable, and resilient future, leveraging digital innovation not just for growth, but for equity, dignity, and shared progress. I thank you.
Thank you for your statement, Bangladesh. I now call on India to be followed by China. India, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. India appreciates the work of APCTT in 24-25 towards supporting member states to strengthen national innovation system and foster technology cooperation. APCTT made commendable efforts in supporting member states in areas such as climate technologies, climate resilient infrastructure, municipal solid waste management, green hydrogen, and energy storage. Emerging digital technologies including 4IR, digital public infrastructure, digital finance technologies, digital platforms on climate technologies, among others. The high-level regional consultations, conferences, expert group meetings, capacity building workshop, and innovation exhibitions organized by APCTT have been impactful in fostering cross-border cooperation, capacity building of stakeholders, and sharing of knowledge, experiences, and good practices. During the year, many Indian experts from key technology domains actively participated in and contributed to APCTT's activities related to regional technology cooperation and capacity building. APCTT had fruitful collaboration with the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, and Council of Scientific and Industrial Research of India. DSIR and APCTT jointly organized flagship event Technology and Innovation Conclave, which brought together policymakers and innovators from the region working on energy storage and green hydrogen technologies. India looks forward to jointly organize the Technology and Innovation Conclave 2.0 this year, focusing on artificial intelligence for climate action and resilience, and an expert lecture series focusing on emerging technologies and technology transfer. The Government of India will continue to support the APCTT's work. We also encourage ESCAP member states to collaborate more and more with APCTT to strengthen regional technology cooperation in the Asia Pacific. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for your statement, India. I now call on China to be followed by Thailand. China, you have the floor.
谢谢主席。过去一年 ，ESCAP 积极推进信息技术和科技创新领域合作。加快落实亚太信息高速公路倡议行动计划和亚太空间应用促进可持续发展行动计划等文件，与哈萨克斯坦政府合作，成功举办亚太数字包容和转型部长级会议。ESCAP 的工作取得积极成果，有助于为亚太国家可持续发展提供数字和科技赋能，中方对此表示肯定。当前，信息技术革命日新月异，数字经济蓬勃发展，国际社会加速融合为一个休戚与共的网络空间命运共同体。与此同时，相关技术风险挑战日趋严峻，数字鸿沟不断扩大， 亚太国家应采取更加开放、协调、普惠的政策，促进信息和数字技术应用和普及，保障相关产业链稳定畅通，让更多国家和人民享受数字红利。发达国家应帮助发展中国家提高数字化、网络化、智能化水平，确保公平获取数字基础设施、技术、算力等关键资源，泛化国家安全概念，拉起数字铁幕，甚至公然干扰、打压他国科技发展，只会阻碍国际社会推进科技合作、弥合数字鸿沟的努力。女士们、先生们，中国是信息技术和数字经济发展的推动者、参与者。中国建成全球规模最大、技术领先的网络基础设施，形成完善的数字治理政策体系，着力构建数字包容社会，加快数字政府建设。中国与伙伴国共建数字丝绸之路，共同落实全球发展倡议，同全球南方深化政策沟通和经验分享，促进人工智能等领域能力建设。中方愿同亚太各国加强互信合作，加快落实全球数字契约，弥合数字和智能鸿沟，共促可持续发展。谢谢。
Thank you for your statement, China. I now call on Thailand to be followed by Indonesia. Thailand, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Excellency, distinguished delegates. The theme of regional cooperation for resilient and sustainable urban development underscores the importance of digital technologies, data, and innovative financing in building future-ready cities across Asia and the Pacific. Thailand is advancing its digital agenda under the Thailand Digital Economy and Society Development Plan and the Strategic Initiative, the growth engine of Thailand. This roadmap accelerates transformation in government services and urban systems. A key focus is the digitalization of government operations. Our e-services platform enables paperless and secure workflow across public agencies, enhancing transparency and operational efficiency. We also promote smart city development using digital platform and technology across 7 dimensions, including economy, mobility, energy, people, and environment. Our goal is to create cities that are inclusive, resilient, and sustainable. To support this, we continue investing in digital infrastructure, including 5G, cloud system, submarine cable, and national digital ID, while advancing artificial intelligence and IoT for smarter services and sustainable growth. We support Asia-Pacific Information Superhighway Action Plan for regional cooperation to bridge digital divide and accelerate digital transformation. Distinguished delegate, Thailand will host the 3rd UNESCO Global Forum on the Ethics of Artificial Intelligence in June this year in Bangkok, the first in the Asia-Pacific region. This global dialogue will explore how AI can support inclusive and ethical development. We look forward to welcoming our colleagues from across the Asia-Pacific region to this forum. ICT is not only an enabler, but a foundation for resilient urban futures. Digital transformation helps bridge service gaps, improve responsiveness, and empower community and people. Thailand also recognized the APC ICT's role in driving digital transformation and strengthening capacity for the effective use of ICT and digital technology in advancing sustainable development. Thailand stands ready to support APC ICT initiative and program. In conclusion, Thailand reaffirms the value of region collaboration in digital policy, infrastructure, and innovation. We stand ready to share experiences and work with member states to build sustainable technology-enabled societies across this region. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for your statement, Thailand. I now call on Indonesia to be followed by Japan. Indonesia, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Indonesia firmly believes that the integration of advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence and space-based applications holds immense potential to enhance the quality of life, strengthen resilience, and drive sustainable development across the Asia-Pacific region. From early warning system to disaster response, and from resource management to environmental monitoring, satellite data and AI can empower our communities with timely and precise information. These innovations allow us to map disaster hotspots, predict extreme weather patterns, and plan our responses with greater accuracy. Such capabilities are critical in a region where climate-related disasters continue to affect millions. We remain strongly committed to not only utilizing but also actively contributing to the advancement of technology to support the achievement of the SDGs. Through our National Research and Innovation Agency, we invest in developing homegrown innovations, promote science and technology cooperation, and build local capacity to ensure that no one is left behind in this digital era. In this spirit, I am pleased to announce that Indonesia, through our National Research and Innovation Agency, in collaboration with ESCAP, will host a regional workshop titled Workshop on Space Applications for Sustainable Development in Asia and the Pacific, strengthening capacity in AI and space data for disaster hotspot mapping in Jakarta on 17 until 19 June 2025. This workshop will provide a practical platform for technical experts, academics, and government officials to strengthen their capacities in utilizing AI and satellite data for flood mapping and disaster resilience, highlighted through a hands-on demonstration of SatGPT, a cutting-edge tool developed to support data-driven decision-making. This initiative is also part of Indonesia's leadership in implementing the Jakarta Ministerial Declaration on Space Application for Sustainable Development, endorsed at ESCAP 79 session, and support phase 2 of its plan of action. In this regard, we warmly invite all ESCAP member states to join us in Jakarta this June to exchange knowledge, enhance regional capacity, and strengthen our collective resilience through technology, especially in disaster mitigation, which can happen to all of us at any time. Thank you.
Thank you for your statement, Indonesia. I now call on Japan. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Japan understands the vital role digitalization plays in driving economic growth. To support this, we've been collaborating with various stakeholders to build a digital ecosystem that is free, open, connected, prosperous, resilient, and secure. This ecosystem supports the free flow of data with trust and promotes Open RAN technology. We're eager to work with regional partners to achieve these goals. Currently, there are many international frameworks addressing digital innovation and governance. It's important to align these frameworks and avoid overlapping efforts while respecting the work of specialized global organizations, which have clear mandates for tasks like defining metrics, rules, and standards. We encourage all countries to lead cooperative efforts in ways that strengthen commitments under the UN system and upload UN principles. Japan supports a call for inclusive, open, and transparent discussions on these matters. In this context, Japan is also focusing on our own efforts to enhance digital governance and usability. Japan's digital agency, for instance, is actively improving web services that provide information and facilitate administrative procedures. By refining design systems and guidelines, we aim to make these services more user-friendly, prevent errors, and enhance convenience. Such steps are integral to fostering a well-connected and efficient digital infrastructure that aligns with our broader vision for growth. In agriculture, we recognize the importance of smart technology to ensure high food production levels. Japan is actively promoting the development and use of smart agricultural technologies under the Act on Promoting the Utilization of Smart Agricultural Technology, which came into effect in October 2024. Furthermore, the Basic Plan on Food, Agriculture, and Rural Areas approved by the Cabinet in April 11th highlights Japan's commitment to advancing digital transformation across the entire food system. This includes everything from smart technologies on farms to efficient production and distribution processes in the food industry. By leveraging digital technologies, we aim to improve communications across the supply chain, increase efficiency in public sectors, and enhance the sustainability and productivity of the entire food system. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your statement, Japan. Would any other delegation like to take the floor under this agenda item? I see none. Let us proceed with agenda sub-item 5J on statistics. May I invite the Director of the Statistics Division, Ms. Rachel Joanne Bevan, to briefly introduce the documents pertinent to this agenda item. Ms. Bevan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. It's my honour to introduce the documents pertinent to item 5J on statistics. Summary of progress in the implementation of Commission resolutions ESCAP/81/6, resolutions 71/14 and 75/9. Report of the Committee on Statistics on its 9th session, ESCAP/CST9/6. Report of the Governing Council of the Statistical Institute for Asia and the Pacific on its 20th session, ESCAP/81/21, and Whole of Society Approach to Building Agile Statistical Systems, ESCAP/81/22. Document ESCAP 81/6, resolutions 71/14 and 75/9, outline progress made in their implementation. In this regard, the Commission is requested to take note of the strong collaboration of partners who are promoting a holistic approach to civil registration and vital statistics. The Commission is requested to increase political and financial support for inclusive statistical systems, acknowledging that implementing the declaration requires a whole-of-society approach. Document ESCAP/CST9/6 on the report of the Committee on Statistics on its 9th session will be presented by the Chair of the Committee on Statistics. Document ESCAP/81/21 on the report of the Governing Council of the Statistical Institute for Asia and the Pacific on its 20th session provides an overview of the Institute's performance in 2024, the results of the recent evaluation, as well as the strategy for the period 2025 to 29, and the work programme of the Institute for 2025. The Commission may wish to take note of the report, which will be introduced by the Chair of the Governing Council. Document ESCAP/81/22 reflects on the need for a whole-of-society approach to building agile statistical systems that can advance the implementation of the Declaration on Navigating Policy with Data to Leave No One Behind. The Commission may wish to acknowledge that the successful implementation of the Declaration on Navigating Policy with Data to Leave No One Behind requires a whole-of-society approach from the identification of issues through to data collection and data use. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Bevan. May I now ask the conference room officer to play the video message from the chair of the 9th session of the Committee on Statistics, Mr. Ko Eng Chuan, Chief Statistician of the Department of Statistics of the Ministry of Trade and Industry of Singapore.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it is a great privilege to share with you today as Chair of the Committee on Statistics, a role that Singapore was honoured to assume at its 9th session in 2024. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to my fellow Chief Statisticians, colleagues and friends for this trust and responsibility. In December 2024, I had the privilege of chairing the 9th session of the Committee on Statistics and deeply appreciate the support from countries, development partners, and the Secretariat. Together, we are strengthening official statistics across Asia and the Pacific in support of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. This commitment is firmly rooted in the collective vision and framework for action endorsed at the 5th session of the Committee on Statistics, as well as in the Declaration on Navigating Policy with Data to Leave No One Behind, adopted at the 75th session of the Commission. However, despite our efforts, current progress is not enough to fully meet the data needs of inclusive societies. We must do more to provide timely, relevant, and reliable information for decision-making in a fast-changing world and to ensure no one is left behind. At the 9th session of the Committee on Statistics, under the theme, The Power of Data, we made key decisions to advance progress, including promoting a whole-of-society approach to advance the declaration, strengthening national data partnerships, and establishing data user advisory groups to support chief statisticians and developing strategic visions for data, prioritizing the development of agile statistical systems, and replacing existing groups and communities of practice with more flexible task teams. We also recognize that national statistical officers need the support of the whole of government and recommended that the Commission calls on member states to increase political and financial support for inclusive statistical systems, recognize the importance of a whole of society approach, and encourage governments to develop strategic visions for data that recognize the power of data. While challenges remain, we are making real progress and we are on the right path. I sincerely thank each of you and our development partners for your unwavering commitment to data and statistics. Together, we are delivering on the data needs of the 2030 Agenda, and we are delivering as one community. Let's continue working together to unlock the power of data for a more inclusive and sustainable future. Thank you.
May I now ask the conference room officer to play the video message from the chair of the 20th session of the Governing Council of the Statistical Institute for Asia and the Pacific, Mr. Saurabh Garg, Secretary of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation of India.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates and colleagues, it is my privilege to address you today as the chair of the 20th session of the Governing Council of the Statistical Institute for Asia and the Pacific. The Governing Council, held in December last year, noted with appreciation that SIAP conducted 34 training courses in 2024, benefiting 2,400 participants. The Council endorsed the work program and financial plan for 2025, which includes training in emerging areas such as the use of new data sources, artificial intelligence, climate change statistics, and the System of Natural Accounts SNA 2025. A key milestone was the endorsement of SIAP's strategic plan for 2025 to 2029, which will guide its future initiatives. The Council encourages member states and partners to collaborate actively in implementing this vision and expanding SIAP's outreach. The evaluation report for 2020 to 2024 affirmed that SIAP has been effective in fulfilling its mandate. The Council also welcomed the continued focus on gender statistics training and recognized the need for sustained efforts in this critical area. Looking ahead, we seek the Commission's support in endorsing SIAP's work program and financial plan for 2025, strengthening capacity building initiatives, and fostering greater engagement and contributions from all stakeholders. I take this opportunity to thank SIAP, the member states, and all stakeholders for their continued dedication to strengthening statistical systems and promoting data-driven policymaking. Thank you.
Thank you. I now open the floor for statements. I ask all speakers to please adhere to the time limit of 3 minutes. The first speaker is Bangladesh. Bangladesh. You have the floor.
Madam Chair, distinguished delegates, excellencies, assalamu alaikum, and very good afternoon to you all. Bangladesh recognizes that robust, reliable, and timely statistics are fundamental for evidence-based policymaking, especially in guiding resilient urbanization and inclusive development. The Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics is leading the country's statistical system by producing authentic data covering population, health, economy, labor, environment, and social indicators. Guided by the Statistics Act 2013, the National Strategy for the Development of Statistics, and the National Quality Assurance Framework, Bangladesh has laid a strong foundation for a modern, integrated, and transparent statistical system. Madam Chair, one of our key milestones is the 6th Population and Housing Census 2022, the first ever digital census in Bangladesh, which is crucial for urban planning, housing, and public services. Similarly, the recently completed 4th Economic Census in 2024 and other major surveys have equipped us with vital data for resilient urban and economic development. Madam Chair, Bangladesh has also launched an online SDG tracker integrated with an SDG data calendar and an action plan on data disintegration, which has been recognized by the UN as a good practice. These tools ensure real-time monitoring of progress and uphold our commitment to leave no one behind. The government of Bangladesh has underscored the importance of data transparency, accuracy, and credibility as national priorities. Through the National Data Coordination Committee and the technical review mechanisms, we are institutionalizing, coordinating, eliminating data duplication, and validating data quality across the ministries in Bangladesh. Let me conclude by reaffirming Bangladesh's commitment to strengthening statistics for inclusive, smart, and sustainable urban development and inviting collaboration from all ESCAP member states in this transformative journey. I thank you all.
Thank you for your statement, Bangladesh. I now call on China to be followed by Japan. China, you have the floor.
谢谢主席。过去1年 ，ESCAP 成功举办第9届统计发展委员会会议和第20次 CEP 理事会会议等重要会议，积极推进统计领域政策对话与交流合作，中方对此表示肯定和赞赏。在落实2030年可持续发展议程过程中，统计领域工作至关重要，它为政策制定、目标评估和发展规划提供着坚实的数据支撑。中国政府高度重视统计工作，我们持续加强统计法治建设。2024年9月完成《中华人民共和国统计法》第3次修改，充分发挥法治对统计现代化改革的引领、规范和保障作用。我们不断增强对统计的财政投入，有力保障了第5次全国经济普查、投入产出调查、第4届联合国世界数据论坛等重点统计调查项目和交流活动的顺利实施。我们持续强化政府公共服务，严格执行 SDDS 数据公布特殊标准，及时公布相关数据和统计制度方法，建立统计信息发布日程公示制度。我们积极探索现代信息技术在官方统计中的应用，利用大数据、云计算、人工智能等，对电子商务、脱贫攻坚、环境治理等各类统计数据进行监测分析，提升政策制定的科学性和针对性。我们积极参与国际统计合作，作为 CEP 的理事会成员，捐款数额排名第2，助力加强亚太区域统计培训，推动提升亚太地区国家统计能力。我们还通过中国 ESCAP 合作基金 持续支持 ESCAP 开展区域统计能力建设项目。尊敬的主席、各位代表，中方期待 ESCAP 及其统计委员会未来在推动联合国2030年可持续发展议程落实，加强国家统计机构数据治理，推动建立敏捷统计系统等方面继续发挥重要作用，为各国提供更多的指导和帮助。我们愿意与亚太各国分享经验，相互学习，继续为推动区域统计合作和落实2030年可持续发展议程做出贡献。谢谢。
Thank you for your statement, China. I now call on Japan to be followed by Thailand. Japan, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. With regard to the achievements of the Statistical Institute for Asia and the Pacific SHIP, Japan would like to note that the 55th session of the United Nations Statistical Commission held last year expressed its appreciation for remarkable work of SHIP in response to needs from member and associate member states in capacity building of official statistics in the region. In addition, the independent evaluation of SHIP conducted last year found that SHIP continued to be a very relevant and effective statistical training institute that is valued by member and associate member countries and partner organizations across the region, beyond. Japan is very grateful for the contributions to SHIP made by ESCAP member and associate member states, as well as by international organizations. These contributions are thanks to the efforts of stakeholders, including the Director of SHIP and ESCAP Secretariat, and are also evidence of the in-depth understanding among the contributing countries and relevant international organizations of SHIP's training programs based on needs in the region. Japan is also grateful for the work of SHIP. Furthermore, we would like to express our gratitude to the Secretariat and Friends of Chair Group members for their contributions to the formulation of the 2025 to 2029 strategic plan. We consider it essential that SHIP makes further contribution to statistical capacity development in the region based on the strategic plan. Taking into account these points, Japan endorses the recommendations and decisions made during the 20th session of the SHIP Governing Council. Japan, as the host government of SHIP, provides as much cooperation and support to SHIP as possible. We have secured cash contribution to SHIP for 2025 with agreements among the internal agencies concerned about the work of SHIP, despite the difficult and uncertain economic situation. As for in-kind contributions from Japan, we would like to continue to systematically improve the training environment so that SHIP can respond appropriately to various training needs. Lastly, we would like to stress the expansion and diversification of financial resources is essential for the implementation of SHIP training programs, while SHIP responds to increasing training needs. As I mentioned earlier, while we are making our best efforts to support SHIP as its host government, we hope that ESCAP member and associate member states will also make efforts to fulfill cash in-kind contributions in order to ensure the stability and sustainability of SHIP's training programs. At the same time, we hope that each international organization will provide further support for SHIP programs. Thank you.
Thank you for your statement, Japan. I now call on Thailand to be followed by the Russian Federation. Thailand, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Royal Thai Government, I am honored to address the 81st session of ESCAP on statistics. Thailand reaffirms its commitment to the 2030 agenda and recognize the essential role of quality, timely, and disaggregated data in monitoring progress and informing inclusive policies. Thailand has developed a comprehensive SDG on-dite database covering over 160 indicators, aligned with global, regional, and national priorities. This platform enhances transparency and accessibility of data for policymakers and the public. Concurrently, we have prioritized capacity building across government entities to ensure consistent methodology in SDG reporting. To support data integration, the National Statistical Office of Thailand continues to strengthen our national statistical system through collaboration with government agencies, civil society, academia, and international partners. Our government data catalog initiative facilitates across-agency data sharing while incorporating statistical data and metadata exchange standard to promote automation and harmonization of statistical processes. Addressing data gaps in SDG Goal 2, the NSO Thailand has successfully implemented the Food Insecurity Experience Scale following FAO standards, enabling Thailand to monitor food insecurity at multiple levels and identify at-risk populations. Thailand remains committed to advancing disaggregated data availability and supports regional initiatives to improve statistical capacity across Asia and the Pacific. We actively contribute to the Committee on Statistics and support efforts to address data gaps in emerging issues such as climate change, digital transformation, and inequalities. In closing, I express our appreciation to ESCAP for its technical support and cooperation. We welcome continued collaboration with ESCAP and member states to realize our collective 2030 agenda ambitions. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for your statement, Thailand. I now call on Russian Federation to be followed by the Islamic Republic of Iran. Russian Federation, you have the floor.
Благодарю вас, госпожа председатель. Прошу прощения, я бы хотел озвучить выступление по пункту повестки 5I, то, что касается ИКТ. Отмечаем важный вклад, который вносит в деятельность ESCAP Азиатско-Тихоокеанский центр по передаче технологий. Мы видим ту пользу, которую приносит реализация инициатив, осуществляемых под эгидой этого центра. Считаем значимым вклад центра в развитие международной кооперации в области ИКТ. И в частности, в прошлом году центр успешно провел так называемый технологический и инновационный конклав. Хотели бы отметить, что в этом году в Российской Федерации впервые пройдет Совет управляющих указанного центра. Надеемся, что его результаты станут очередным важным этапом в продвижении повестки ESCAP в области ИКТ. Спасибо большое.
Thank you for your statement, Russian Federation. I now call on the Islamic Republic of Iran. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Distinguished delegates, the Asia-Pacific region is home to more than 2.2 billion urban residents and many of the world's largest megacities. This region also faces fundamental challenges such as population aging, urban poverty, social inequalities, and economic and environmental vulnerabilities. Addressing these challenges requires innovative governance approaches that can effectively respond to rapid urban transformations and the complex challenges posed by climate change and economic fluctuations. Distinguished delegates, the Statistics Center of Iran emphasized that accurate and register-based data can help to achieve global sustainable development goals addressing climate change and reducing social inequalities. This path requires regional convergence and cooperation to tackle shared challenges and realize sustainable urban development. In this regard, the Islamic Republic of Iran expressed its readiness to actively participate in proposing innovative solutions and sustainable urban development initiatives. As we approach World Statistics Day on October 2025, which coincides with Iran's National Statistic and Planning Day, we have a unique opportunity to further highlight the importance of statistics on both global and national levels. Statistics form the foundation of all decision and policy making, can serve as a key tool in addressing global crisis and climate change. To address challenges such as climate change, global crisis, and other worldwide phenomena, timely and precise statistics are essential. In conclusion, I encourage all member states to strengthen regional and global convergence and use credible statistics and data to bring about positive changes in our societies and the world. Iran, as an ESCAP member state, has a relatively developed digital infrastructure, but its existing capacities in the field of big data are underutilized. Hence, the Statistics Center of the Asia and Pacific, SIAP, is requested to create a platform for cooperation and arrange a series of technical workshops in order to transfer knowledge development, develop technical skills, and use the experience of successful countries in the area of big data. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for your statement. Islamic Republic of Iran. Would any other delegation like to take the floor under this agenda item? There being none, this brings us to the end of the allotted time for today and the conclusion of agenda sub-item 5J. We have now concluded the deliberations for this agenda item, and I now turn to statements in exercise of the right of reply. Given the exercise of the right of reply has been requested. In this connection, I would like to remind all delegations that statements in the exercise of the right of reply are limited to 3 minutes for the first intervention and to 2 minutes for the second intervention. China, you have the floor.
谢谢主席女士。中国代表团在议题5H 下紧扣主题做了发言。美国代表利用国别发言的机会提出反对，这违反了会议的议事规则。对美国代表团发表的针对中国的种种不实支持和无端指责，中国代表团通通予以断然拒绝。美方害怕别人批评其滥施关税，说明美方心虚，因为美方无法解释其政策的合理性和合法性。相反，美对等关税政策的不合理、不合法倒是很容易说清楚。华盛顿将当前国际经贸关系解读为不公平、不平衡。认为其他国家都占了美国便宜， 这本身就违背经济学常识，更违背历史逻辑。自愿互利是国际贸易的基本属性。多年来，各国根据自身自然的禀赋进行国际分工，形成了当前国际经贸关系格局。美国是现行多边经贸规则的倡导者，更是最大受益者。它既享受来自全球物美价廉的消费品，又在金融、科技等高附加值领域占据明显优势。美国寻求所谓重新校准，完全违背比较优势这一西方经济学200多年来的基本原理，唱的是一出美国反对美国的滑稽戏。无论美方怎样辩解，都无法掩盖其将美国优先凌驾于国际规则和国际社会公利之上，以牺牲各国正当利益服务美国霸权利益的本质。试问，难道只有美国的利益需要维护？其他国家就没有实现自身发展的正当权利吗？
Sorry, I have to stop you. It's already beyond 3 minutes.
No, Madam Chair. I'm speaking very slowly so that the interpretation can follow me. So I'm not using the total time limits of 3 minutes. No. 华盛顿滥施关税的恶果正在不断呈现。所谓对等关税，扭曲全球市场资源配置，破坏国际合作根基，拖累世界经济长期稳定增长。IMF 明确指出，全球经济增长放缓的主要原因是美国关税政策的急剧变化，及由此带来的高度政策不确定性。
Your time is up. Your time is up. So we now have to
No, Madam Chair, I actually have finished my Chinese statement, but you need to give time so that the Chinese interpreter can finish his or her interpretation.
I will allow you up to half a minute more.
OK. 华盛顿对等关税损人害己的本质已暴露无遗，正持续引发国际社会强烈反对和批评。美国声称，如果其他的贸易伙伴迎合他们建立公平、平衡贸易关系的努力，维护美国的经济、国家安全，他们表示欢迎。这分明是乱舞大棒后扔出一小截胡萝卜，充分暴露了华盛顿从实力地位出发的一贯傲慢心态，是赤裸裸的讹诈。我们相信，世界上绝大多数国家会选择站在历史正确的一边，共同反对单边主义、贸易保护主义和经济的。华盛顿最好是迷头知返。谢谢。
Okay, thank you. So I will also give the same privilege to the United States of America. You have the floor.
I would again reiterate that the theme for this year's Commission session is on urban development and not a forum on international trade. However, because one member state continues to raise this issue, we will continue to respond It is important to note that China's actions do not match its words. Indeed, China says one thing and does another. And as we just saw, it is very clear that it believes the rules do not apply. The United States cannot and will not idly observe the unbalanced economic relationship with China driven by Beijing's unfair and anti-competitive trade policies and practices. Beijing must end its systemic unfair trade practices and open its markets to US goods. For decades, China's unfair subsidies have driven out US competition, and its industrial policies drive the IP theft of US technology. Beijing has also taken non-tariff actions aimed at hurting US farmers and ranchers, citing unjustified reasons to ban US exports of soybeans, lumber, sorghum, poultry, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on and on. To reiterate, I would urge ESCAP members and associate members to look at China's actions rather than its empty claims when judging its contributions to the international systems. As we have said repeatedly, if trading partners align with our efforts to achieve fairness and balance in our trading relationships, we will welcome this cooperation. Further, I'll say, the rules of this body are established by consensus and should be upheld. China's representative chose to interrupt my statement, my country's statement, chose to use double his time, and we sat idly by, and we will not continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you for your statement. I now give the floor to China, but I remind you to please adhere to a 2-minute limit. We have simultaneous interpretation, so you don't need to stop. It will continue. Thank you. 2 minutes.
谢谢主席女士。美国代表针对中国进行攻击抹黑，老调重弹所谓贸易壁垒、产业补贴、技术窃取等等各种荒谬的论调，中方对此坚决反对，绝不接受。美方指责中国言行不一，我想严正地指出，口是心非、言行不一的是美国。我注意到美国代表说他要捍卫协商一致的这种原则，我欢迎他，我记住他的话，我希望他至少能在本次会议当中遵守这个承诺。作为负责任的发展中大国，中国积极践行自由贸易理念，认真履行加入世贸组织各种承诺，不断扩大市场准入，增加进口，保护知识产权，为各国投资者创造良好营商环境，使他们有机会分享中国经济发展红利。中方敦促美方客观全面地认识中美经贸关系。事实上，建交46年来，双方的贸易额增长了275倍，不仅为各自带来实实在在的利益，也有力地促进了全球的经济发展。美国企业从中得到了丰厚的回报，美国消费者获得物美价廉的商品，美国绝不是某些政客口中所谓的吃亏者。中方从不刻意追求贸易顺差，从未针对美方采取所谓系统性不公平贸易举措，始终坚持通过对话协商解决争议。中方认真履行中美第一阶段经贸协议义务，反倒是美方数次违反协议精神，以所谓国家安全为由，持续强化对华出口。
Your time is up. Thank you. I now give the floor to the United States of America, a limit of 2 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. I would just again reiterate, it is important to note that China's actions do not match its words. Indeed, China says one thing and does another. For far too long, it has deployed unilateral unfair trade practices that have hurt not only the United States, but market economies and workers around the world, including countries and workers and people from those countries who sit in this room. The U.S. will continue to is resetting the trade environment so that China can no longer take advantage. We will continue to champion a fair economic playing field, supporting innovation over intellectual property theft and free enterprise over authoritarianism. As we have said repeatedly, If trading partners align with our effort to achieve fairness and balance in our trading relationships, we will welcome such cooperation. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you to all delegations for your participation today. I now ask the Secretariat to do some announcements.
Thank you, Chair. Distinguished delegates, I would like to remind all delegates that all documents pertaining to Agenda Item 11, adoption of the report, which will be considered tomorrow afternoon at 14 hours, including the draft report, the draft resolutions and decisions, will be available on the password-protected website at the advice of the Advisory Committee of Permanent Representatives at acpr.unescap.org as of 12 noon tomorrow. Information on how to access the website has been communicated to all seats of government, but should you require access, please contact your assigned liaison officer. And just another reminder about the Secretariat wishes to also remind each participant to please take a few minutes to complete the online survey that was uploaded on the Commission webpage. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Secretariat. So we now adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.
Is it tomorrow?
And tomorrow, we shall convene Friday, 25th of April at 900 hours, Bangkok time, sharp, to take up agenda item 6. Then we will finish take up item number 6. And so the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you very much.